Hello, students. Please turn in your unit packet to Balancing Chemical Equations 3. Look at the top of each of the pages. Look at Balancing Chemical Equations 3. I'm going to give you go through a few examples just because this is our first worksheet that we're working on that doesn't have the lines. So previously in this unit, or in this practice when we did these skills, you would have had a line here, a line here, and a line here. Well, we don't have those lines, so you can put them there if that helps you, but you're no longer going to see them provided by me. So we're going to take a moment to balance this. So let me get rid of my lines here. Remember that we start with polys, all other atoms, hydrogen, then oxygen. I'm going to switch colors for just a moment here, maybe if I can get it to switch. All right, so as I look here, I'm going to split anything that's a compound, and a compound is two or more different atoms put together as a unit. So this is my only compound. There are no polys, so then I'm just going to do N, A, and I. On the left side of the arrow, I have one Na and two I's. On the right side, I have one Na and one I. So I'm going to balance by putting a 2 in front of where Na is 1 to 1, so it's good. And my I's are 2 to 1, 2 to 1. So I'm going to put a 2 here, which makes me multiply through by both. Remember, these are both 1, so 2 times 1 and 2 times 1. Sodium goes to 2, iodine goes to 2. So now my iodines are fixed, but my sodiums are messed up. Now I got to go over here, messed up. So now I have to go over here and put a 2 here. That makes my sodium go to 2. And now I have 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, meaning the same number, not that they're all 2s, but this is 2 sodiums and 2 sodiums. 2 iodines and 2 iodines, and this would be a 2, 1, 2. I would not write the 1, but it is there for balancing. Okay, now go down the page and look at number 13. So now we're going to look for polyatomics. I'm going to split anything that's a compound, and I'm going to see that. Let me get my marker working again here, my pen working again. So this is a compound. I see I have OH, so then remember the rule is if I have OH on one side and water on the other, it's going to help me if I scratch out water and make it HOH. So just as a reminder, if you ever have an OH on either side, look for water on the other. If you have water on the other, it's going to make it easier most of the time to write it as HOH. So now remember the rules were polys. I have OH as a polyatomic. Polyatomic are 2 or more atoms acting as the front half or the back half of a compound. Sodium and hydrogen. Remember I wrote hydrogen in my list last because if hydrogen or oxygen are present, they should be second to last for hydrogen and dead last for oxygen. I have 1 hydroxide because remember this is really this. That's really what we have there. And 1 hydrogen and 1 sodium. Over here this is really this. We just don't write it. So I have 1 hydroxide, 1 sodium, and 2 hydrogens. Now I'm going to get my hydroxides look good, 1 and 1. Sodiums look good, 1 and 1. My hydrogens are 1 or 2, 1 to 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. That makes my hydrogen go to 2. And my hydroxides go to 2. My OHs go to 2. So those are, I fixed my hydrogens, but then I messed up my hydroxide. So now I got to go back to the top of my list. I'm going to put a 2 here because remember, it's really like putting a 2 here, which means I'm going to multiply those pieces. So hydroxide becomes a 2 and sodium becomes a 2. So now hydroxide is fixed, but now I messed up sodium. So now I got to fix sodium. I put a 2 here. So as you can see, I now have 2 and 2 for hydroxide, 2 and 2 for sodium, and 2 and 2 for hydrogen. When each side of each piece is the same number, you're balanced. I would read this to you as a 2, 2, 2, 1. Keep in mind that you are trying to balance polys first, then all other elements, and then a hydrogen. That's what we did there. Okay. As you can see, there normally would be lines here. We just didn't write them in because that is just the first step in teaching. We won't give you lines anymore. We expect that you know that you can only put numbers in front of elements or compounds. Okay, let's continue one more example. Let's look at this example 15. So flip to 15. We're going to split this. We're going to split this one. We're going to split this one. And we're going to split this one. Remember, generally speaking, we split it right after the element, the first element. So we're going to go NO3 here and PO4 here because they're my 2 polys. I have both of them on the same side. So I can use that as a group, Mg and then K. Here I have 2 NO3s, 1 PO4s, because remember this is really written like this, and if it helps, rewrite it like that. I have 1 Mg and 3 Ks. On the other side I have 1 NO3, because remember, again, this is really written like this. We just don't write the ones because it takes up time. So that's 1 and 1K, 2 PO4s, and 3 Mgs. So we're going to start by balancing our NO3s. We're going to put a 2 over here. It's the same thing as putting a 2 here, and we're going to multiply. So the NO3 becomes 2, and the K becomes 2. Now I'm going to work with PO4. I'm going to put a 2 here. That affects my PO4s to 2, because remember it's the same thing as putting a 2 here, and we're going to multiply through. But it changes my Ks to a 6 because of this 2 times 3, or better yet, this 2 times 3. So now I'm going to fix my Mgs. I know I messed up my Ks. I fixed them down here, but I'm going to continue down my list. I'm going to do Mg next. I'm going to put a 3 here, which gives me 3 Mgs, but it also gives me 3 times 2, 6 NO3s. So now I'm going to continue down my list. I'm going to fix my Ks. Instead of putting a 2 there, I'm going to erase that because it no longer balances it with the 2. I got to figure out something else. Now what can I put there? Because I know I had to fix the other side, I can put a 6 here. Because if I get rid of this 2 and make it a 6, 6 times 1 and 6 times 1 makes this go to 6 and this go to 6. And now this is balanced with a 6, 6, 2, 2, 6, 6, 6, 6, 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, and now it's balanced. I would read this to you as a 3, 2, 1, 6. Thank you for your time. Hope that helped.